A man suspected of a double homicide at Devil's Den State Park, and a ruling on marijuana taxes comes down from the highest court in Missouri. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, marijuana tax on the docket in Missouri, how it could affect the local cannabis industry. Plus, local medical statistics show an increase in pedestrian automobile accidents. How some health officials in Joplin have some advice for sharing the road and staying safe. And volunteers raise money to enhance family spaces at the Ozark Center's Turnaround Ranch in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Taxes on marijuana products will drop in some Missouri communities. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The Missouri Supreme Court has solidified a ruling that local governments cannot double tax marijuana dispensary sales. While the topic has been in the appeal process, some cities and counties continued doubling the 3% tax. But now one of the others will have to stop. One or the other will, making the purchase a bit cheaper for residents.
That for adult use consumers who come to a dispensary that's situated within an incorporated area, they won't have to pay an additional 3% local tax on top of whatever the other taxes are. And by our calculations, it's a rough estimate, but we think this is happening in most adult use sales. We're being subjected to this.
The ruling could impact millions in tax revenue across Missouri. The Missouri Cannabis Trade Association estimates it's going to save customers $3 million per month. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, super hot for us today. Temperatures 98 degrees, our hottest temperature we have seen so far in 2025. We are going to get some relief, just not tomorrow. Heat indices above 100 degrees once again. 80s returning, though, by Thursday, and we have some rain chances moving in as we go into Wednesday evening as well. Big national story right now, huge historic earthquake, an 8.8 on the Richter scale, which is top 6 or 7 in recorded history. But this is off the coast of Russia. This is way out for our graphics, so this is going to flip on you. But we have tsunami warnings all the way along the coast of Alaska, tsunami warnings for all of Hawaii, and we also have at least tsunami watches on the west coast of California. Hawaii will get into the action here in about 2 hours or so, and then the middle of the night, 4, 5, 6 hours for the west coast. So we're going to be watching that as well. We're going to talk about the relief here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Authorities released a photograph of the person of interest in a double homicide at an Arkansas state park. Arkansas State Police released this image along with this composite sketch of the suspect. State police said the suspect is believed to be a white man of medium build who at the time was wearing dark pants, a long sleeve shirt with sleeves rolled up, baseball cap, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves. He was also believed to be driving a black 4-door sedan. The description came from witnesses inside the park. Police in Arkansas are searching for the suspect in connection with the death of Clinton and Kristen Brink, a couple who investigators say were attacked while on a wooded walking trail with their 2 young daughters. That attack happened on Saturday. Authorities say the couple died protecting their children. All trails at Devil's Den State Park in Washington County, Arkansas have been closed as that investigation continues. The victims' bodies were sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab to determine the official cause and manner of death. Anyone with information should contact the Arkansas State Police at 479-751-6663. Prosecutors have charged a Southeast Kansas man with a child sex crime. He's 23-year-old Chance Watkins of Galena. According to court documents, Watkins messaged a 13-year-old Newton County, Missouri girl through social media, then took her to a Joplin park where they engaged in sexual acts. Authorities have charged Watkins with kidnapping and enticing a minor. You'll find a lot more information on this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A woman is recovering from a gunshot wound after an early morning incident in Joplin. Around 5 a.m., emergency crews responded to a home on North Sargent Avenue. The woman was taken to a hospital with a gunshot wound that is not considered life-threatening. At last report, police say she was in stable condition. The initial investigation indicates a juvenile called 911. Police have the area taped off as they work to figure out what happened. Neighbors are asked to steer clear while that investigation continues. Mercy Hospital tells us they've seen an increase in the number of pedestrians hit by vehicles. 230% increase since 2023. Mercy caregivers believe the weather contributes to the increase. People are out walking and driving and sometimes not paying attention to their surroundings.
It can range from a variety of things. You can be tapped by a car and take you off guard, or you can be run completely over. If somebody gets run over, they can have pelvic fractures, they can have aortic tears, they can have all kinds of things are important in this area.
Joplin police say the number of vehicle and pedestrian accidents have decreased in Joplin city limits. Mercy covers an area much more than just the Joplin city limits. Freeman Health System is recognizing its auxiliary members for a recent donation benefiting the Ozark Center Turnaround Ranch in Joplin. Volunteers raised $8,000 to furnish the facility's newly renovated Family Life Center, adding couches, curtains, and even a kitchen table. The donation also funded picnic tables and benches near the ranch's new duck pond. Staff say the upgrades help create a more home-like environment for teens and families going through recovery.
Young people come from a variety of backgrounds, have unique and special needs, and we have to tailor them for those children. And we can do it through the schools, we can do it through the churches, we can do it through organizations throughout the community.
The ranch serves around 100 adolescents facing emotional and behavioral challenges. A Joplin Bookstore is hoping to encourage the next generation of readers by supporting teachers. Always Buying Books traditionally holds a back-to-school sale on 3 weekends in August, offering a 50% sale on children and teen books. Well, this year, the store is holding an Adopt a Teacher program with hopes of raising at least $2,000 to help reduce prices even more for teachers. The store owner says every year he sees teachers using their own money to buy classroom books. He says he wants to help support their efforts to get books to children.
If it wasn't for the Hardy Boy books and the Webb City Public Library, I probably wouldn't have this bookstore, because I fell in love with reading, and it's just I've never looked back. You get a reader early and they're going to be readers for life.
If you're interested, you should know donations can be made in the store or via mail. You can learn more about the Adopt a Teacher program and how to help on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Extreme heat and humidity can be dangerous for anyone, but especially people with diabetes. Coming up, we're going to share vital tips to protect your health this summer. But up first, drink spiking incidents rise in Southwest Missouri. What do you need to know to stay safe and how bars are stepping up? Post is circulating around social media about a woman whose drink was allegedly spiked in Branson. She ended up in the hospital. Reagan DeTrolio reports on what police advise you do if you find yourself in a similar situation and what precautions bars in Southwest Missouri are taking to prevent this from happening.
It's a huge issue, and of course we're tangent to it.
Jared Stevenson owns and operates Harbell's in downtown Springfield.
The biggest thing is we're always constantly monitoring our customers.
Stevenson says if you go out on the town, take steps to keep a stranger from dropping a drug in your drink.
Especially if you're a female, cover your drink with your coaster or take it with you when you go to the restroom. Know who you're going out with. Don't accept drinks from other people.
The Stone County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating an incident at a tiki bar around Branson on Sunday where a woman allegedly got drugged. In a post, the Sheriff's Office says, if someone has something like this happen, please contact law enforcement immediately so it can be investigated. Springfield Police also offered up advice on what you need to do the second you think someone has slipped something in your glass.
Evidence of a drug that might be in your system, those leave your system pretty quickly. So the sooner you can get to the hospital to get checked out and have tests done to see what might be in your system, the better.
The bar owner here also tells me if a customer ever feels unsafe, he'll have his staff call an Uber and then walk the customer out to a vehicle like this one to ensure they get inside the Uber safely.
I've even had staff members that have ridden with people before. I've ridden with people before. to make sure that they get home safe, because the last thing we want is for anything bad to happen to anybody after a night of drinking.
A little later, a commemorative park in Fort Scott will showcase the city's history thanks to some brand new signs.
And it looks like finally some relief from the heat. We're going to look at that coming up. Super hot once again for us today. In fact, our hottest day in 2025 was today. We've hit 97. Today we hit 98. At least we haven't hit 100. It's still terrible out there. We had a couple random little thunderstorms southwestern Missouri earlier this evening. These are pretty much gone. There's one little shower, eastern Jasper County, gone. So we're going to be dry as we go through the rest of the overnight hours tonight. But we have changes moving in. They start tomorrow. Now, not with the heat, but rain chances back in the forecast. All right, upper 70s to start, very similar to what we've seen. By the noon hour, we're sitting mid 90s by the afternoon, so we're going to go to about our high temperature, 96s, 7s, 8s, maybe a 99. Notice, here's 4 p.m., right in our northern counties, pop-up thunderstorms. That's our cold front, hit and miss storms as well, southwestern Missouri, northwest Arkansas. These are not going to be widespread, but there could be a pretty good batch that tries to get going. Here's 8 p.m., scattered thunderstorms in our northern counties. Any of the storms that could fire, we really don't have the upper level dynamics in the summertime, but still along a front, we can get some stronger or low grade severe storms. Showers, thunderstorms developing. Here's about midnight. Fredonia, Yates Center stretching east over towards Stockton Lake. Scattered thunderstorms dipping south and east as we go through the night. Here's 3:30 in the morning on Thursday. And then Thursday morning, we're still going to have some hit and miss leftover showers. But check this out. Look at our high temps. We're talking low to mid 80s by Thursday afternoon. Look at the winds out of the north. The humidity is going to be gone, which is going to be fantastic. And then you're going to love this. We drop into the upper 60s by the time we head into Friday morning. All right, 94 by noon, high temp, 98 during the afternoon hours. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin. Humidity is up, dew points into the 70s. What this means for you is it feels soupy, and we're going to continue to see that as we go through the next few days. All right, so let's go into tomorrow afternoon. Heat index up there again, 103, 4, 5, 6. But the heat index is going to match our temperatures on Thursday, meaning our humidity has gone down, so that is fantastic news. Here's the problem. Look at this circulation right through here. That is our area of high pressure rolling right through northern parts of Texas, southern parts of Oklahoma. And this high pressure is going to shift off toward the west as we go into, let's say, the weekend. This allows storm systems to kind of rotate around it, giving us some chances for rain. So we even have another wave, which is going to push in by the time we get into late Sunday, Sunday night, and also on Monday. Super hot tomorrow, 98, but 86. On Thursday, 83. On Friday, look at our low Saturday morning down to 63 degrees. 84 Saturday, 89 on Sunday. Enjoy it. It's going to be short-lived. We soar back into the 90s next week.
Well, it will be August after all. We should expect August weather, I guess.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug. During these days and nights of extreme heat and humidity, some people need to take extra steps to protect their health, especially those who have diabetes. Nick Kelly has their story.
Brian Pascal is no stranger to the summer heat and humidity in the Ozarks. However, it's something he pays close attention to since he found out he had type 2 diabetes several years ago.
Some of their students was out there poking people's fingers to check their blood sugar, and well, mine was like 535, and it was like, I thought that guy was going to have a heart attack.
While he's able to manage his diabetes, the heat has caused his blood sugar to spike and drop numerous times.
My yard is 50 feet wide by 150 feet deep, and it takes me several attempts to get it mowed. The heat with the diabetes has definitely affected my longevity.
Not only can diabetes affect your blood sugar, Dr. Barbara Bunbury with Mercy says it can lead to another condition called diabetic neuropathy that can impact the nerves in our body.
It can affect other nerves of the body too, including the nerves that supply or innervate the sweat glands. And so that can affect the overall function of sweat glands, which can lead to a body or a person's body not being able to relieve that heat.
Even with diabetes, the rules for staying cool are the same. Stay hydrated with water and drinks with electrolytes. Take frequent breaks in the shade or air conditioning. Diabetics should consider what Brian does and carry a cooled emergency kit with test supplies and some food or drinks on standby.
That's a good thing for anybody that's diabetic that has had issues with low blood sugar to have something on hand, whether it's glucose tablets, peanut butter crackers, orange juice, something that they can take quickly if they start having a drop in their blood sugar.
As for Brian, he wants to remind everyone with diabetes and dealing with the heat to pay careful attention.
Keep monitoring your body and don't fluff things off. Don't think, I got to be a big macho and like this, but listen to your body.
Both Brian and Dr. Bunbury say if you need any help managing your diabetes in the heat, reach out to your doctor or call 911 if you worry you're having a medical emergency. Still ahead, Ryan Blank is in St. Joseph giving us a sneak peek at the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs. Plus, a local Little League team wins the state championship to cap off an undefeated playoff run. Ben McLeish has that and more up next in sports.
Casey's were too nice to say no. That's why we said yes to delivering pizza.
Now.
As the Kansas City Chiefs 2025 season rapidly approaches, there are still some questions to be answered on the starting offensive line. KOAM Sports Director Ryan Blank is at the Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph as battles for roster spots commence.
For the Chiefs offensive line so far throughout training camp, the spotlight has been on rookie left tackle standout Josh Simmons. However, there's more work to be done on the left side of the line, with the starting position at left guard open for competition. One of those guys competing for that starting spot is former second-round pick Kingsley Suamataia, who's attempting to make the move from tackle to guard.
Going good. Taking that work, coming in at guard, things are a lot faster. So just taking, my mind from out here to in here and working it from in there and getting the work from Trey and the inside guys. So it's been good.
As Suamataia works on the transition from the outside to the inside, he is fortunate to have one of the best guards in the NFL opposite of him in Trey Smith. And so far, throughout training camp and practice, he's been using the star right guard for motivation and help.
I'm right behind him. Hey, Trey. So I'm over there in his ear every day, every second, just trying to better my craft so I can help this team. You see Trey, best guard, and I got the best center next to me, so I'm trying to be up there with those guys and keep up with them.
Kansas City opens up the preseason on August 9th against the Cardinals. Well, it's not every day you win a state championship, but last week, some of our youngest local athletes did just that. The Parsons Babe Ruth 9-10 All-Stars are Kansas State champions. The team went an undefeated 3-0 in the district playoffs, including a walk-off 11-10 win in the finals. They cruised to the state championship where they took down Columbus 10-6. Parsons' Ryder Collins was named tournament MVP, and teammates Johnny Pagese and Bentley Nutter made the all-tournament team. Riding a 9-game winning streak, the Joplin Outlaws take on the Texarkana Rhinos in a doubleheader at Joe Becker Stadium. In Game 1, Joplin takes down the Rhinos 4-1 for their 10th straight win. But in even bigger news, this win officially secures them the #1 seed for the Mid-America League playoffs. If the season ended today, they'd actually play the Rhinos in the opening round. And in Game 2, the Rhinos snapped Joplin's streak with an 8-1 win. And over in the major leagues, the Royals and Cardinals have home matchups. Kansas City takes down the Braves 9-6 to even up their series. Tomorrow, they'll look to clinch the series in the rubber match, but the Cardinals are shut out by the Marlins 5-0. Now they sit just one game over 500, and with every loss, it becomes more likely that St. Louis will trade some of their stars in the Thursday deadline. But what about the Outlaws officially clinching that #1 spot?
Good for them. They've been eating their Wheaties, I guess. They've been as hot as the weather, and let's hope it continues through the playoffs.
Yep, that'll be in Abilene, Texas.
All right, very good. We'll be right back.
Continental Siding customers are saying no more high energy. A Forstate hero.
New signs coming to Fort Scott are helping showcase the town's history. The Wayman Chapel African Methodist Episcopal Church Commemorative Park, it's a long name, it's also the site of the installation of a series of informational signs. The historic site was once home to the oldest black church in Fort Scott and was regularly attended by filmmaker Gordon Parks back in the day. It was even featured in Parks' film The Learning Tree. Now the property is a commemorative park, hoping to honor the legacy of the church's role in the local black community and highlight its rich history.
We want to make not only a tribute to honor the church, we want to make it informative for the visitors, for the residents and people that come from all over the nation, actually, to Fort Scott to tour and to want to learn more about Fort Scott, Gordon Parks, and the culture here that served the history.
The commemorative project was made possible with support from community organizations like the Bourbon County Historical Association, Fort Scott Community College Foundation, and the Gordon Parks Museum, one of the many reasons Fort States has to be proud of its rich heritage. The weather is changing eventually, Doug.
It is. Tomorrow's still going to be hot and very humid. 98 for a high. We're going to have that heat index again about 103 to 107. We are going to be watching for pop-up thunderstorms once we get into the evening hours. Some of those could be a little bit on the stronger side, but look at this, 86 Thursday, 83 on Friday. So big switch compared to what we have seen over the past 12 days.
We will take that switch. A bit cooler temperatures. Final sports note.
Well, on Friday, the Pittsburgh All-Stars take on the Webb City All-Stars in a little Kansas versus Missouri action in the Little League regional playoffs. So that'll be fun.
Again, we and CBS are keeping an eye on that earthquake that hit Russia this evening and now has prompted tsunami warnings all around the Pacific Rim and including islands within the Pacific. And that would include Hawaii. Watch for updates online, on air, and on the morning show. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great tomorrow.